Hey YouTube, Kevin Cleary with a knife video for you. Please forgive my voice, I do have a bit of a cold, but I wanted to get this one out, especially considering that I haven't put as many videos up lately. I've been sick, as you can kind of hear. So that's made getting new videos up a little bit difficult. Of course, I was away about a week and a half ago as well. So between those two things, there's been a bit of a lull, but anyway, we should be back and up and running basically as normal again. Today I do have a comparison video for you, and this should be a really fun comparison. Number one, these are two knives that I really like and enjoy using and carrying, but two, they also happen to be what I would consider two of probably the best EDC fixed blades that are out there. Okay, now I obviously I haven't owned every single EDC fixed blade in the world, but I have considered an awful lot of them, and I've used quite a number of them as well. So the two that I have for you today are the Esee 3. I'm going to put that back in the sheath for now because I'm going to need it in the sheath in a second. And the other one is the Bradford Guardian 3. Okay, both very good, smaller EDC sized fixed blades. Very high quality, very comfortable to carry. Both of these are the two fixed blades that I tend to carry the most as sort of a primary EDC blade. There are other fixed blades that I'll carry, smaller fixed blades that I'll carry as like a secondary knife along with a folder, but these are two that I carry, and that could be my only knife for the day. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and kind of compare these down the list the way we normally do, beginning with size and weight. So the Esee size and weight on this is 7.7 ounces and 9 inches overall in the sheath. Okay, 7.7 ounces and 9 inches overall. The blade on this is 3 3/4 inches. It's about 3.5 inches of cutting edge, 4 1/4 inch handle. It does have a little bit that extends here. And the blade itself, just the knife, is 5.2 ounces. I will say that doesn't matter a whole lot, because what are you going to do with this? You cannot carry this. So it's pretty much got to be carried along with the sheath. On the other hand, Bradford Guardian is in a leather sheath. It is 7.5 inches overall. Okay, so this total dimension, 7.5 inches, and 5.9 ounces in the sheath. All right, take this out. You have 3.5 inches of blade, 3 1/4 inches of handle, and it's 3.6 ounces. Okay, so considerably lighter. In fact, this whole thing together is about the weight of some folders. What have I got on me today? In fact, it's very close in weight to the Stedman or the Stedman or Stedman or however you want to pronounce it. Very close in weight. Obviously, you're getting considerably larger when the Stedman is unfolded. All right. So how do these compare to one another? Well, both are pretty easy to carry. Okay, I don't find either one to be oppressive. The primary difference is going to be the fact that, number one, the leather is quite comfortable on the Guardian. So if you're carrying this in this configuration on your low back, this is how I often carry it. I tried to carry it on the hip, but I found it on the left hip, sort of kidney carry. It doesn't really work on the belt there, or at least for me it doesn't. So primarily I carry this right side low back carry in this configuration, right? And it's very comfortable. And I will say one benefit of the leather sheath is that if this is against your skin or it's rubbing or anything, it's very comfortable. On the other hand, the plastic, the carry on this is a little more versatile, but both of them are basically equal in terms of how easy they are to carry. This one has more versatility. This one is lighter and a little more comfortable. So I'm going to have to call that one a tie. Okay, now let's move on to the blade. I'm going to take this out now and just leave it out of the sheath so that I'm not popping it in and out over and over again through the video. But The SE3 has, as we've said, 3 3/4 inch blade, basically 3.5, a little over 3.5 inches of blade length, or cutting edge, I should say. 1095 high carbon steel. It does have a coating on it to protect that steel because that's not a stainless steel. It is a full flat grind, and it's a very high flat grind, pretty thin behind the edge. Essentially, this is a very utilitarian blade shape. Okay, it's kind of designed to do everything that you might want to do with a knife, and it really does perform quite well. And I've used this quite a lot, carried it quite a lot, and I do enjoy using and carrying this knife. Okay, so that's you know, I guess drop point blade, we should have said that. And there is more belly out here, okay, certainly much more exaggerated belly than what you get on the Guardian. Now, since we've got the Guardian out, let's go ahead and talk about it. We do have N690 steel on this, which is stainless steel, very, very good quality steel. Beautiful stonewash finish on this. One thing that these knives have in common is that both of them are, even though they're designed to be fairly tough and robust, they're fairly thin behind the edge, okay? So that allows them to slice pretty well. Now, I will say the Esee may be a little more suited to certain outdoor tasks because of the more rounded belly. And the Guardian might be a little more suited to more standard everyday tasks because it's more of a straight edge. Okay, but really both of them cut quite well, and in terms of actual cutting power, they're going to be pretty similar. Now, the one thing that's different, obviously, is that the blade on the Azula is quite a bit longer. So you've got more cutting edge and more blade in general. So that means you've got more reach, okay? You definitely have more distance here that you can cut through something with. And you do have the very different belly that we've already mentioned, okay? So those are the differences in the blade. Now, which blade do I prefer? Let's quickly go ahead and give you the features there. You've got very thin edge geometry behind both. You've got a lot of belly here on the Esee. Excuse me, less pronounced belly on the Bradford Guardian. The Guardian is, of course, a very good quality stainless steel. The Esee is a very good quality high carbon steel. The Guardian is going to hold its edge considerably better than the Azula. The Azula is designed more for toughness and durability than it is for edge holding, where the Guardian is more about edge holding. You do have, you know, kind of a higher end steel there. Okay, so all that said, which one are we going to take? I think we have to give the edge to the Esee in terms of the actual blade itself, what you can get done with it. Maybe we subtract some points for the fact that it's not stainless. However, it is coated, so you're really not going to have much of an issue with rust. All right, moving on to the handle. We have on the SE3 a micarta handle, about 1/2 inch thick, very, very grippy, even if it's wet. You do have the option to choke up in this finger choil here, but you don't have to. You do have full 4-finger grip on this handle. It is full tang, and you do have that extended pommel so that you could break stuff, or, you know, break glass or crush rocks or break nuts open or something like that. All right, which is very helpful. Very, very comfortable. And the cool thing about micarta is it tends to get more grippy as it gets wet. Now on the Guardian you have G10. It is heavily textured G10, very grippy G10, and actually I find this knife to be very, very comfortable. I certainly have no complaints about it whatsoever, except for the fact that it is only sort of a 3-finger knife. Okay, if I hold it like this, you see my pinky is sort of flopping in the breeze here. If I choke up and use the choil, which is kind of the way it's intended to be used, I get a full 4 fingers on there, but I am up into that choil, which means I'm going to lose some of that ability to really bear down and cut on something. And this is where, you know, if you try to grab this knife this way, really hold on to it tight, and you just push down really hard, you get a fair bit of movement there, and it's really going to wear on the webbing in your hand here after prolonged use. With the Azula, because it's more hand filling, you grab this really hard and you get some movement, not nearly as much. There's much more surface area in contact with your hand. You can really bear down and get some hard cutting tasks done. Okay, so there is a significant difference in the handle, And that difference is primarily about size. I wouldn't really give one more, more retention than the other. I think both of them are going to stay in your hand about equally. But the Esee, especially for prolonged use, is going to be much more comfortable. So we've got to, I think, give the edge to the SE3 in terms of the handle. Now, what about the sheath on the two of these? Sorry about that. It took me a second to get that in there. What about the sheath on the two of these? Well, both are very nice. I will say this, the Guardian being all leather and very well done is going to be highly appealing to those who are a little more traditional, who like to see things out of natural products. The full leather sheath on the Guardian is going to be really, really attractive to those kinds of people. The plastic sheath may be a little more appealing to the sort of tactical crowd on the Esee. And it's going to offer more versatility. Okay, that's where the Esee really shines, because of the fact that you've got this clip that can be repositioned in a number of different ways. You can put it this way, you can have the knife upside down, and you're going to be able to clip it onto your belt and take it off. Okay, there's a ton of versatility here. With the Guardian, you really have one option. That is, you put this on your belt, kind of on your hip, at which point the handle is going to stick out, or you put it sort of in your low back, across your back like this, okay, with the belt going through here. And in that case, it is more comfortable, it is more carryable. I have tried to use this with a sort of kidney carry, flip the knife this way, okay, and put it in the belt loop over here on my hip. But the problem is, in this configuration, when you bend over, there's a lot of places where it can pinch, where you can pinch your skin between the belt and the handle, where it's just not a good spot for me, okay? And maybe you do that and it works really well for you. For me, this sort of front kidney carry did not work at all. Now, I will say retention on both of these is very, very good. You're not going to have to worry about losing your knife. I will also say comfort on both of these is pretty good, although there's no question, in my mind, that the Guardian is more comfortable. Okay, this, you can literally put this on your belt and not even know you're carrying it. It is extremely comfortable, extremely, just easy to deal with. You're not really adjusting anything to any major degree. With the SE3, you're probably going to have to adjust the shirt you're wearing. You may have to, obviously you have to wear a belt with both of these, but you're going to notice this one more. If you sit in the car, if you sit at your desk, if you put a coat on, you put a coat off, all those things, the handle is sticking up here, and every time you bend over, the handle kind of juts out. So the comparison between these two is a comparison between comfort and ease of carry, or versatility and the ability to remove this whenever you want to, because you can just clip it off, take this off your belt, and set it down wherever you find yourself. Okay, so really, really tough call on that. I think just because it's so comfortable, I've got to give the edge to the Guardian for the sheath itself and for how comfortable it is to carry. All right, so overall, if you were to say to me, okay, Kevin, you cannot keep both of these, okay? You've got to get rid of one. Which one would I keep? Which one would I get rid of? Probably I would keep the Esee. It's just a little more versatile. The extra handle and the extra blade, I find to be worthwhile. Yes, it's more inconvenient to carry, but I find it worth it. Now, on the other hand, let me say this. At times where I know I'm going to be in and out of the car, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. I'm not going out to the bush. It's really more of a light-duty EDC day. I will take the Guardian pretty well every time because it is more comfortable to carry. No question about it. All right, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know your comments below. What kind of things you look for in a fixed blade? What kind of things you prefer in terms of features and size and weight and all that stuff. We'll talk to you soon.